Well, we are talking about a third alternative, not because we want to negate any of the Palestinian political groups, but because I believe there is a huge silent majority in among the people in Palestine who does not like the system of polarization and who wants to see a true and full-fledged democracy, and who want to see a system of sharing and participation where all the Palestinian tendencies will be represented in a democratic and fair manner, where we will depart from the system of one-party rule or one-group rule, where democratic freedoms are respected and where the authority is separated into legislative, judiciary, and executive authorities independent from each other. What we try to represent is a movement for national liberation and for Palestinian freedom as everybody else. The Palestinian National Initiative was created in 2002 as a response to a need. We are independent from both Fatah and Hamas, but we've been playing a very important role as a unifying factor, as a group that is trying to build unity between all Palestinians. And we were from the very beginning against the Oslo agreement because we thought it denied Palestinians their basic rights, and it was an agreement about an interim solution without knowing the end result, and it was a mistake to do it without freezing all settlement activities. And life has shown that we were right, whether we are talking about some of the founders' positions like Haidar Abdi Shafi or Edward Said or myself and others. We aim for freedom, but we also aim for a full democracy internally between Palestinians. And we aim for social justice. We give very big attention to the rights of underprivileged people and groups in Palestinian society. We care very much about women's rights, about the rights of the people with disability, about the rural areas that are neglected and discriminated against. So it's a movement that believes in freedom, democracy, and social justice. At the same time, we've been advocating popular resistance, and we've been taking the avant-garde role in building a movement of popular resistance, which has taken many forms, including boycott, divestment, sanctions, including struggle against the wall and settlements. And we believe that through popular resistance we can make a difference and a change in the balance of power in Palestine. First of all, I believe that the relationship between Israel and the United States is very powerful, even if there is personal friction with Obama. But Obama, unfortunately, was a great disappointment. He retreated each time there was a clash with the Israelis. He made a big mistake when he spoke in Cairo in the very first years of his presidency about ending settlement activities, and then he backed off. And by doing so, he destroyed the possibility of the United States playing a real role, and he destroyed the possibility of the United States pressing Israel to accept international law. The problem is that the United States is absolutely biased to Israel. First of all, because there is a strategic alliance between the United States and Israel. Second, because of the power of the Israeli lobby in the United States. And third, because the United States is constantly failing of making a policy that forces Israel to respect international law. And in a way, they are running a double standard policy. Most recently, the Israelis ran out in their attack on Gaza from tank bombs, and they took the third week of the war, and they took the weapons from the American strategic reserve. So unfortunately, we don't see real hope here, because it seems very clear that the United States cannot be biased to Israel and be the monopolizer or maintain the monopoly over the role of the mediator in the so-called peace process. Yes, I expect a veto in the Security Council. And I believe we shouldn't even wait for it. I believe President Abbas should immediately sign Rome Statute and should immediately take Israel to the International Criminal Court, with or without the vote in the Security Council. And we should not wait, and we should join all UN agencies. We should demand recognition from all countries of the world, and we should continue our struggle to get our freedom. It's very important because it should come natural. Since if you are supporting a two-state solution and one side, in this case Israel, is destroying the possibility of the establishment of a Palestinian statehood, and if the Deputy Prime Minister Ya'alon is coming out saying there is no place for Palestinian state and all Palestinians can have is an autonomy under Israeli control, and he's saying Israel is not seeking a solution but only a management of the conflict, then clearly what Israeli policy is destruction of the possibility of the establishment of a state of Palestine by building settlements, by oppressing the Palestinian people, and by transforming the longest occupation in modern history into a system of apartheid and discrimination. Recognition is one factor that could help change the balance of power. And without changing the balance of power on the ground, we cannot change anything. So the recognition is important. First of all, it would give the Palestinian people a message that there is hope. It would also give those who believe in popular resistance hope that this can work and can be effective. It also would allow or open the road for at least 7 or 8 other European countries to immediately recognize Palestine. And we do hope that the vote, which we are sure we're going to win in the Senate and in the National Assembly, would make the French government recognize immediately Palestine and not wait anymore. What's different now is that we see the beginning of a third uprising. Palestinian popular resistance is growing to a level of an uprising. And we see that Israel's policy is being exposed worldwide. And we see that the boycott, divestment, sanctions campaign is growing dramatically. And finally, the world is seeing Israel as it is, the system of apartheid, much worse than what prevailed in South Africa. But of course we have difficulties, and we have problems, and we are sacrificing a lot. Yet I believe that there is now also a complete belief that without the struggle and without changing the balance of power, we cannot get anywhere. The whole illusion of Oslo is gone. It's not possible anymore to use the Oslo illusion to distract Palestinians from doing their duty and struggle for their freedom.